Chao boy sang. Chao boy sang. What do you mean you don't know that? You've never been in Hanoi, Vietnam? That's how they say good morning in Vietnamese. Chao bu oi sang. And you know what's interesting? Vietnamese is a tonal language, which, like Chinese, which means the meaning of a word changes based on how you say it. It's almost like you are singing different notes in a song. Isn't that something? By inflection and emphasis, words change even though you're saying the same word. Well, we have that in a little bit in English, don't we? Like whatever. You could say whatever, or you could say whatever. But this changes the meaning of the word. Well, that has a lot to do with nothing except that we're reading in Mark this week, starting on chapter 10 of Mark, and now we're in a controversial subject, somewhat, but it shouldn't be controversial. In Mark chapter 10, we're going to go into the question of divorce and remarriage. Jesus set out from there and went to the region of Judea and across the Jordan. There, then crowds converged on him again, and as was his custom, he taught them again. So Jesus is moving about, and because of his miraculous ministry, crowds are following him. They gather where he goes, and he doesn't brush them off. He stops and teaches them. Oh, how we need teaching. Some Pharisees came to test him. A lot of the Pharisees' questions they wanted an honest answer. They wanted to trap him. That's how people are today. Sometimes a pastor, over these many years, people will come to me with honest questions. Or other people will come who just want controversy. They want to argue about the hair on an egg. I told you about that. Microscopic hairs are on eggshells. In Argentina, someone who's just, super critical and wants to argue, he's looking for in Spanish, he's looking for the hair on the egg. They were coming to test him, to trap him. Is it lawful, they asked, for a man to divorce his wife? He replied to them, what did Moses command you? They said, Moses permitted us to write divorce papers and send her away. So let's stop right there. There was an Old Testament divorce law given by God, and you could divorce for any cause. If the wife kept burning your food, you could divorce her. If she didn't keep a tidy house, in your opinion, you could divorce her. Notice how male-centered this is, always the man putting away the woman. So, any cause. And you were always free to remarry. In fact, there's examples in the Old Testament of them remarrying, or at least giving provision for that. You wrote a bill to divorce. You did it with witnesses, usually near a river, and you said, or at the gate of the town, I, Jacob, are putting away Naomi on this day, and it totally dissolved the marriage. You were always free to remarry. In the Old Testament, there is no such a thing as divorce without the right to remarry. Otherwise, you're not divorced. Divorce always meant breaking the marriage bond. And it could be for any cause. So, you could look that up, by the way, in Deuteronomy 24. But Jesus told them, Moses wrote this command for you because of the hardness of your hearts. But from the beginning of creation, God made them male and female, Genesis 1:27 and chapter 5, verse 2 in Genesis. He made them male and female. That's how God made people, male and female. Two genders, male, female. Has been that way for thousands of years. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. So before we get to the offshoot of this teaching, let's just think about these things. God made them male and female. That's how God made people. Male and female, only two genders. For this reason, what reason? To be married, a man will leave his father and mother, and the two will become one flesh. They are no longer two, but one flesh. So, for this reason, a man will leave his mother and father and be joined to his wife. So, lesson number 1. Don't get married if you still want to be with mommy and daddy. How many counseling problems have come because the man or the woman was still linked to the parents, and one of the parents in their marriage? I counseled a couple some years ago, and the guy was so connected still to his parents, they went on every vacation with the couple, including the honeymoon. Really. So if you want to be connected with mommy and daddy and the way she makes the rice and beans, I have to do everyone a favor. Don't get married. You have to want to leave your parents and love your future spouse enough that you leave and now you become one with that new person in your life, your husband or your wife. So counsel people that way. If they are still connected to mommy and daddy, because some family, it almost becomes cult-like. I'm all for family and togetherness and all that. But if you're going to run back to mommy and daddy the minute you have a problem, do everyone a favor and do not get married. Like your mom and dad are not going to agree with you. If the wife runs to her mom and daddy, just the way you talked to me this morning, and now you're going to have a real mess on your hands. So we learned today, marriage is ordained by God. He made humankind, male and female. And for this cause, marriage, it's sacred, it's beautiful. I'm doing a wedding this week that I'm taping this. I'm doing a wedding on Friday night. They are getting married. They'll be married by the time you see this, back from their honeymoon. And they're leaving their parents and what they've known to become a new person, couple together. Amen. See you next time.